going to talk about multiplying radicals. The one major rule we have to follow today is in order to multiply radicals, they have to have the same dimension. So I cannot yet multiply a square root times a cube root. They have to have the same dimension. All right, so I can only multiply a square root times a square root, or a cube root times a cube root, or a fourth root times a fourth root. Okay? All right, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Step 1, I want you to multiply your outsides. You can also think of it as the coefficients on each of the radical. Multiply your outsides. Step 2, multiply your insides. And then step 3, simplify. That's it. So here is example number 1. Let's say I have 2 square root, and if there's no number there, that's the square root. I'm going to take my little number out of there for a second. Okay? Say I have 2 square root 6 times by 5 square root 10. So we're going to multiply. First step says to multiply our outside. So we're going to multiply our 2 and 5 together. 2 times 5 is 10. Square root. Now we multiply our insides. 6 times 10 is 60. And now we simplify. When I say simplify, that means we're going to break it down. 60 is 6 times 10. 6 is 3 times 2. And 10 is 2 times 5. What number, when I simplify, has a friend that gets to come out? The 2's, right? So that 2 is going to come out and join the 10. When it comes out to the outside, what do I do with them? Multiply them. Very good, Hunter. So 2 times 10 is 20. Left at home is the 3 and 5. So I have to multiply those back together. 15. All right? Not too bad. That is literally what we are doing today. Now, granted, some of them are a little tougher. Some of them are a little bit bigger numbers. Okay? All right, so let's try another one. Example number 2. Let's go with the cube root of 9 times by 3 cube root of negative 12. So first we multiply our outsides, right? This is a 1 times 3 is 3. Cube root. And again, you have to have that little 3 there for it to be a cube root. Now we multiply our insides. 9 times negative 12. Negative 108. Good. Negative 108. So, first thing I'm going to say is this is an odd root. It is negative on the inside. So what can we do with that? Bring the negative out. Yes, we can bring the negative out because it's an odd root. If it was an even root, it would not work, right? But it's an odd root. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this negative, we're going to bring that out, and we're going to put a negative on the front. Okay, now let's break down 108. 108, we can actually break it down into what we just multiplied, 9 and 12. 9 is 3 and 3. Okay, me get caught up there, Logan. Thank you. All right. So now how many friends do I need this time? I need 3. Thank you, Orion. I need 3. Why do I need 3 friends? Because it's a cube root. So I have 3 3s right there. They're going to come out and join the -3 that's on the outside. So I have a -9 cube root, 4 left on the inside. All right, so somebody give me any kind of question we have so far. We're all okay? Okay. So example number 3 then. All right. Let's say we have the 4th root of 8 times by, let's go 2 square root 16. Yes, Orion, what? Correct. This is not possible. Why is it not possible, Logan? Thank you. This is a 4th root. This is a square root. We cannot multiply them together the way they are. So this is not possible. Yes, you will have one of those today. So I just wanted to point that out. All right. So let's break this down a little bit more. So in the first section, 10 through 18, it says multiply and simplify. All right, so let's say I have let's go with the cube root of -5 times by 4 cube root of -50. All right, so what's step number 1?
Take out cube.
No.
Multiply the outside.
Multiply the outside, thank you. So 1 times 4 is 4. Cube root. Step number 2 is to multiply the inside. -250, I agree. A -5 times a -50 is positive 250. Now we're going to break that down. 250 is 25 times 10. 25 is 5 times 5, and 10 is 5 times 2. What can come out? The 5s, very good. And I'm going to multiply with my 4 on the outside. So I get 20 cube root, and again I have to have my 3 there. What's left at home? 2, very good. All right, so that is the first section. Do we have any question over that section? Okay. Example number 5 then. For example number 5, it simply says simplify. And so this is what we're looking at for 20 through 26. And they're just going to give you 1. So let's say I have the 4th root of 243, x to the 4th, y to the 9th. All right, so if we're going to simplify this, first we have to break down 243, right? 243 is 3 times 81. 81 is 9 times 9. 9 is 3 and 3. And this 9 is 3 and 3. So do I have a group of 4 numbers altogether? Okay, so that group of 4 3s gets to come out. I have a 4th root. How many 3s are staying home? 1. Good. Okay. Now let's go to our x's. I have 4 x's in there, which means I have 1 group of x's that can come out. Do I have any x's left over?
With the y, you got y, wait, oh my. Square root of y is 9.
Okay, so we're good with the x's. All the x's came out. I have 9 y's in there. How many groups of 4 y's do I have? 2. So I'm going to have y squared on the outside. How many are left over? 1. So that stays there. That's it. Okay? So in this section, you got to pay attention to what the dimension is. So you make sure you're taking out the right number of friends, depending on what it is, right? Okay? You're just simplifying. All right, example number 6. For example number 6, that's going to take us from the 28 all the way to 36. Again, it says multiply and simplify. Let's go with negative cube root of 2 x to the 3rd, y to the 7th, times by 2 cube root of 12 x y to the 2nd. All right, so we take it by steps, right? As I said, if you do your steps today will be easy. Step 1, you multiply your outside.
Yeah, negative 2.
All right, good. Negative 2. I'm going to draw my cube root right here. Now I multiply my inside.
24.
Good.
4.
Good.
9.
Yep, you add your exponent. Okay, so this was step 1. This was step 2. Step 3 is now to simplify. So I'm going to break down my 24. 2 and 12. 12 is 2 and 6. 6 is 2 and 3. Now, is that the only way to break down 24? Yeah, and that's fine. You can go 6 and 4. You can go 8 and 3. Whatever works best for you. Yep, so we have 3 2's that get to come out. So when I take those out, what am I going to have on the outside? Negative 4. I'm going to go ahead and write my cube root here. Do I have any numbers left over to leave at home? A 3. Very good. There's a 3 right here, right? Okay, so now I have 4 x's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. I have 1 group of 3 of them, so 1 group comes out, and I have 1 that has to stay home. Y to the 9th.
All 3 of them is y inside, right?
Nope. Y to the 3rd on the outside. Right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 1 group of y's, 2 groups of y's, 3 groups of y's. So y to the 3rd comes out, and there's none left over. Right? You guys, give me a question. Any question at all? Give me something, anything.
Assign the homework, then we ask questions as we go.
I think you depend on me too much when we do it that way.
No, Dad never asked questions.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and let you guys try it. Let's see where we're at, okay? All right. We can do this. 10 through 36 even. Do not try and skip steps because it's going to make it harder on you.